Love? Change? Shock. Daniel won a court case after revealing his wife's secret. But new bomb, her lover is the father of someone else's child. Meanwhile, Marc, abandoned by everyone, wages a desperate war for the truth. Who betrayed him? Why did the family choose to side with the enemy? Daniel is determined to find Marc, but can he save someone who has lost everything? Succeed, or you'll miss the most dramatic difference in their lives.
Chapter 4. In the weeks following the divorce hearings, Daniel found himself navigating a complex web of emotions. While he had emerged victorious, with the infidelity of his ex-wife Emily and her lover exposed, there was still a lingering sense of unease that he couldn't quite shake. As he slowly began to rebuild his life, Daniel found himself confronted with the news that his former friend and affair partner had gotten another woman pregnant. The revelation sent a shockwave through him, stirring up a whirlwind of conflicting feelings. Initially, Daniel felt a surge of vindictive satisfaction. The man who had so callously betrayed him was now facing the consequences of his actions, his own life upended by the weight of his decisions. It was a bittersweet victory, a reminder that the toxic relationship he had once been a part of was truly over. But as the initial anger subsided, Daniel found himself overcome with a more complex array of emotions. There was a twinge of pity for Emily, his former wife, who now had to grapple with the fallout of her lover's actions. Despite the pain she had caused him, Daniel couldn't help but feel a glimmer of empathy for the predicament she now found herself in. The knowledge that his ex-wife's lover had moved on, leaving her to deal with the aftermath, was a sobering realization. It served as a stark reminder that the betrayal he had endured was not a unique or isolated incident, but rather a testament to the complexities and fragility of human relationships. As Daniel reflected on the past few months, he couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in the way he had handled the situation. Unlike Marc, who had been left to navigate the aftermath of his wife's betrayal largely on his own, Daniel had the unwavering support of his family. They had been his rock, offering a steady stream of emotional support and practical assistance throughout the tumultuous divorce proceedings. Daniel knew that he owed a great deal of his resilience to the love and care of his family. Their presence had been a constant source of strength, a reminder that he was not alone in his fight. They had listened to his anguish, validated his feelings, and encouraged him to stand firm in the face of adversity. In contrast, Marc's story had unfolded in a drastically different manner. While Daniel had found solace in the embrace of his loved ones, Marc had been betrayed not only by his wife and brother but also by his own family, who had chosen to side with the very people who had shattered his world. The stark contrast between the two men's experiences only served to highlight the importance of a strong support system, especially in the aftermath of such devastating betrayals. Daniel knew that he had been fortunate, that his family's unwavering loyalty had been a crucial factor in his ability to navigate the emotional minefield and emerge stronger on the other side. As he continued to rebuild his life, Daniel found himself drawn to Marc's story, intrigued by the parallels and the differences between their journeys. He couldn't help but wonder how Marc was faring, whether he had managed to find the strength to fight back and reclaim his life. One day, while sifting through the remnants of his past life, Daniel stumbled upon a news article that shed light on Marc's situation. The article detailed the legal battle he had waged, his unwavering determination to expose the truth about his wife's infidelity and his brother's betrayal. Reading the article, Daniel felt a surge of admiration for Marc's resilience. Despite being abandoned by his own family and stripped of everything he had once held dear, the man had refused to give up. He had fought tooth and nail, meticulously gathering evidence and refusing to be silenced by the weight of his circumstances. The article painted a vivid picture of Marc's journey, chronicling his descent into depression, his fight to regain his footing, and his ultimate triumph in the courtroom. Daniel was struck by the raw authenticity of the narrative, the way it captured the emotional turmoil and the sheer force of will that Marc had summoned to overcome the devastating blow he had suffered. As he read on, Daniel couldn't help but feel a sense of kinship with this stranger. They had both been thrust into the depths of despair, their lives shattered by the betrayal of those closest to them. But while Daniel had been fortunate enough to have his family's support, Marc had been left to navigate the aftermath alone, forced to confront the darkest corners of his own psyche. The more Daniel learned about Marc's story, the more he felt compelled to reach out, to offer a word of encouragement or a gesture of solidarity. He knew all too well the weight of the burden Marc had carried, the overwhelming sense of isolation that came with having the very foundation of one's life crumble beneath one's feet. With a newfound sense of purpose, Daniel set out to find a way to connect with Marc, to offer a glimmer of hope in the midst of the darkness. He understood that the journey towards healing and redemption was not a solitary one, and that the support of others could make all the difference in the world. As Daniel delved deeper into Marc's story, he was struck by the similarities between their experiences, but also the divergent paths they had taken. While Daniel had been able to lean on his family for support, Marc had been forced to sever ties with his own, a decision that Daniel could only imagine had been agonizingly difficult. Yet, despite the seemingly insurmountable odds, Marc had persevered, his determination fueling his every step. Daniel couldn't help but admire the man's resilience, the way he had refused to be defined by the betrayal he had suffered. It was a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human soul, a reminder that even in the face of the most devastating setbacks, there was always the possibility of redemption. As Daniel contemplated reaching out to Marc, he couldn't help but feel a sense of kinship and a deep respect for the man's journey. In a world where betrayal and heartbreak were all too common, it was heartening to witness the triumph of the human spirit, the ability to rise from the ashes and reclaim one's life. With a newfound resolve, Daniel set out to find a way to connect with Marc, to offer a hand of friendship and support. He knew that the road ahead would not be an easy one, but he was determined to be a beacon of hope in the darkness, a reminder that no one had to face the aftermath of betrayal alone. In the days that followed, Daniel immersed himself in Marc's story, studying the details of his legal battle and the obstacles he had overcome. He couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and admiration for the man's unwavering commitment to justice and his refusal to be silenced by the weight of his circumstances. As he continued to follow Marc's journey, Daniel found himself drawn to the themes of resilience, redemption, and the power of choice that wove through the narrative. It was a story that resonated with him on a deeply personal level, a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome even the most daunting of challenges. With a renewed sense of purpose, Daniel knew that he had to find a way to reach out to Marc, to offer a connection, a shared understanding of the pain and the triumph that came with the aftermath of betrayal. He was determined to be a source of support, a reminder that there were others who had walked a similar path and emerged stronger for it. As he contemplated the best way to approach Marc, Daniel couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. He knew that the road ahead would not be an easy one, but he was prepared to face it head-on, driven by the belief that the power of human connection could be a transformative force in the lives of those who had been shattered by the betrayal of those they had once trusted the most. With a deep breath, Daniel set out to find Marc, determined to forge a bond that would not only offer solace and support but also serve as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit.
I drift in your shadow, your breath keeps me still. The night wraps around us, bends time to my will. In dreams we are endless, no space in between. A place made of whispers where silence can sing. Take me to sleep where the stars never end. Lost in the rhythm, we don't have to pretend. Floating in waves where the night will defend. Take me to sleep where the stars never end. Hands, 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 hands. Every beat pulls me deeper inside. Your touch is a current, a velvet tide. Oh, wake me now, let this feeling abide. In your arms, I'm free.